everyone, and welcome back to 20 Minutes a Day. Today's episode is extra fun because our host, Sarah, is interviewing someone very special. Another Sarah. That's right, this is a conversation between two Sarahs who actually grew up together and now both work at Verbatum. So if you were with us last season, you've probably already gotten to hear from this Sarah when she talked about her trip to Japan and the Philippines. Sarah now lives in New Hampshire, but in this episode, she'll talk about learning other languages, teaching English, and explaining her job to a 5-year-old. It's a relaxed and engaging conversation, so let's jump into our host, Sarah's first question.
So, Sarah, if you could instantly speak any language in the whole world fluently, which would it be and why?
I thought about this one recently, actually, because we just found out that my sister-in-law gets to come to the United States. So I would love to be able to instantly speak Bisaya, which is the language of her island. It would be incredible for me to be able to just talk to her and make her feel comfortable in a brand new surrounding.
Oh, it's wonderful. So she's in the Philippines, right?
Yes, she is.
And she's going to come and live in the United States with your brother.
It looks like she should be able to be here by the summer.
Aww.
Yeah.
When you were over there, did you learn some words in her language?
I tried, but it was a funny thing because I could not get the accent quite right. So I kept accidentally saying things incorrectly, And I was trying really honestly to be really polite, like salamat and palanga and things like that. But it didn't. In fact, if she's watching this, she'll totally laugh at what I just said there.
Something close to that.
Exactly. So it would be awesome to be able to just know her language instantly.
That's a beautiful answer. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Sarah, what do you love about what you do as a language coach, and how do you share that passion for language learning, trying to create connections with people?
I've wanted to be a teacher since I was in elementary school. So it's been a passion of mine forever. I've always loved teaching. I've always loved watching people meet their goals, succeed, and do more than they could ever imagine. So now that I teach English, it's just taken it to another level. When I was teaching in the school system, some people wanted to learn and some people didn't want to learn. And now everyone is eager and hungry. And I just love it. It makes me excited. I love when they come into a session and they say, "Oh, I had great success like in my job," or "I had so much fun talking to my girlfriend's family," or "I just love," it just makes me feel good to see their excitement for success. And so I probably annoy people because I talk about this all the time. I just love my job. I'm thankful for it. I am so excited to see where life has led, even when it didn't take the exact turns I expected. And it's way better than I could have ever imagined.
Oh, I love that. I know when I finished my master's degree, I could have gotten taught in the college system, and I was like, they don't necessarily want to be there. I have to grade. I have to deal with plagiarism. I have to deal with school politics. Can I take what I love about teaching and create something that only takes the part I love? Mm-hmm. It doesn't any of the parts that are awful.
You're so right. And that's exactly how it is. I don't even have to. It comes so naturally too, because I can take all of the things about teaching that are creative and artistic and fun, and I don't have to worry about making sure I met government standards. I can just help people to meet their goals, not the government's goals for them.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, Sarah, if you had to explain your job to a 5-year-old, how would you do it?
Well, I'm surrounded by 5-year-olds.
Yes, you are.
I have 6-year-old twins who love to sneak downstairs to watch me teach because they think it's funny to see me so animated.
Oh.
But I would tell a 5-year-old that I help people to be able to speak to people in their country and in countries around the world, and to feel confident and to be able to speak with intelligence. Just like they're learning how to read, I'm helping people to learn how to communicate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's easy when you think about it like that.
I
Like
know.
as it's learning. Like they learned a language and didn't even realize they were learning a language. But now, like as an adult, you have to actually like tell yourself, like make yourself like do the effort that when you're a child, you don't even know you're doing that effort.
It's so true.
But reading is an effort.
It is.
Writing cursive is an effort. Writing, and I don't know if they write cursive anymore, but writing is an effort. And now we have to do all that as an adult, realizing, oh, I have to do it now in a different language. But I never realized when I was learning to speak that I was learning a language.
No. And it's so interesting. I've been thinking about that a lot because my 2-year-old is learning to speak. And I'm trying, Sarah, I'm trying to learn French. I'm doing little by little, day by day, a few words a day. And it's amazing to me, though, the connections that I can make, like between a picture and a sound, or something that's similar in English that's also similar in French, but maybe has a little bit different meaning. And it's all about creating connections. That's what 5-year-olds are doing, and that's what language learners are doing too. Like we all are, whether we're learning a language or not, we're making connections to that schemata in our brain.
What was that word? Schemata?
Schemata. It's a good education word.
That's a great education word. What does it mean there, Professor Rice?
Like the Rolodex in your mind. You know when we were back in the 80s when we had to Rolodex through to find a phone number? So schemata describes the Rolodex in our mind that we have to always like flip back through to find something to connect new knowledge to. And if we can connect new knowledge to it, then we will more easily remember it. But if we're putting a new page in our Rolodex, it's harder to remember. But if we connect it to an old page, it has more chances of sticking.
Oh, wonderful. It's kind of like when I was learning French, I'd connect it often to Spanish as well, or English as well. But luckily I had that Spanish base, even though it wasn't that great. Like I was like vocabulary wise, it was helpful. And also like word order, sentence structure was much more similar to Spanish than English. That really helped too.
Yeah. I'm noticing that as I'm studying some French too. I'm like, oh, I remember this from high school Spanish. If I can just put it in the same place of my brain, it'll be easier to recall. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Okay. Ooh, how about this question? Ready?
Yes.
What's one thing about you that people would never guess just by looking at you? I love this question.
I'm really curious about this question for you too, Sarah. Let me tell you. But I think that I've thought of this a lot more recently, you know, having moved in the past 10 years. A lot of people here don't know my obsession with science. I love science. I've always loved science. I love digging into the world around me and exploring it. And I think people are often surprised when all of a sudden I'm really excited about a science thing that I see in the woods or I see at the ocean or I'm like pulling apart. This is going to get a little gross. Like a skeleton or something that I find on the beach that
Yep, pretty gross.
You know, that would surprise most people who know me now and didn't know me, you know, in my big time science teaching years.
And you still do it, right? With kids?
I do. I teach homeschool science to about 50 students every Thursday.
Oh, wow. Okay. You still do it every Thursday?
Yes, every
during
Thursday.
the school year.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot to manage.
Yeah, it's fun though. It brings back a little bit of the classroom, but I still have control over the things we were doing and studying.
How fun.
Yeah.
How fun. Okay, so the science part, yeah, because like often that doesn't go together. Like language learning and science doesn't often go together. Like me, like my language literary side was much more strongly developed than the science, math, STEM side of my brain. Like, so it's hard for me to see like you I know that you can. Like, there's people who can, but you're one of them that can do both.
It's fun for me too because the science math side of my brain has always been stronger than the language side of my brain. However, I've always loved seeing how things connect. Like something as simple as haiku. I always loved haiku because there is a mathematical component. It always made me excited. So it's fun to think about language kind of in a mathematical way, like where you're building things and you're building sentence structures and you're acquiring knowledge. And I love thinking about the brain science component of it and how to build.
Because I remember we were learning Spanish first and then French, was that I would still kind of like as an algebra, like X always equals this, then this will always equal this. Like I can make a sentence with my X's and Y's, except there's so many exceptions that it falls apart very quickly. But
So
in
true.
the beginning, it seems like I can just put words in and it'll be the same thing, except that it doesn't really.
I'm having so much trouble with the male-female part of French, like the masculine and feminine, because I keep trying to do that algebra. Like, okay, well, this has to be this. And then another word comes up and I think, oh,
No,
I don't get it. This doesn't make sense.
It just ruined it. Like today, I was trying to do the word domaine, but domaine ends with an E, so it seems to me like it should be feminine, but it's not. It's masculine, and I have to look it up every time. Like the word tête. Tête is French for head. But if you say tête à tête, which means like a one-on-one conversation, now it's masculine.
Why? Why does it change?
Why does it change? And it's like I have to remember that it changes every time. Yeah.
It's confusing, and we don't have anything like that in English. Like, so that's where I have to connect back to the Spanish. Yeah.
That's all for today's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed getting to know Sarah and hearing about her love for learning. There's even more coming in part 2, where she shares even more insights and stories from her experiences. So be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next week.